everyone, I am Marie of Historical Belle, and thanks so much for clicking on my video today. Lucky thanks you too, it helps her buy cat food. Yes, she was so beautiful. So today I'm going to show you how to do a medieval hairstyle and also how to make a very simple veil, like the most simple veil. Because I was making this project, it was like the last thing I needed to get like my medieval outfit together, and I was running out of time. But I'll show you how to make that and how to do my hair. So I'm going to show you, we're going to start with the hairstyle. This hairstyle is really from like the really late part of the High Middle Ages, like the 14th century, so the 1300s, and my dress is a little bit more 1200s-y, like 1250. So I like to think though, with this basic of a garment, well, maybe, you know, I'm just a little out of style with my clothes, but then I'm really doing my hair up to like be trendy. At least that's the story that I'm going with. I'm sure as I learn more about medieval fashions that I'll get more and more specific, because that's how it is. When you dive into a century, you just gotta start somewhere and make an attempt, and then you'll start learning as you go. So I learned this tutorial from Morgan Donner, and I have like a slight variation of it because like with everybody else, everyone has like their own slight variations, but it was very nice to watch her video, and I'll link it down below if you are interested in that as well. But first of all, we're just going to start by braiding my hair. So I have my hair parted in the middle, and it seems like women had their hair parted in the middle for like hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds a year. Like, so once the braid is done, I'm just using nice little thin elastics, like the fabric covered ones, to finish off and hold it tight. Alright, and now that one's good. Now I'm going to braid the next one. And just for starting off, I always like to take the front portion and I like to take that to the back first, because I think it gives you a nicer clean line here. Alright, so there we have it, 2 braids. So now, to get those like fun little like loopies as we have, I'm going to go ahead and I am going to take my braids up to where they cross right at the top of my head, and then these kind of dangle down by the side of my face. Alright, so I'm going to crisscross those up like really at like the center, like peak of my head. And then I'm just going to use regular bobby pins. Ooh. These are, this is one that has like a nice little magnetic thing at the front, so like you have to like really shake them out. So put as many in there as you feel like. Okay, so I think this is about centered. They keep slipping a little bit, but so the next part though is what helps hold it in place. So I have a little band or fillet of linen that I'm going to use to help hold this secure, and also this is what I'm going to attach my veil to. So this nice little band I'm going to have here, but I'm going to like pull it through my braids to help hold it in place. Alright, so now I have my band. Alright, so my band is secure. And now I'm going to have my veil. So now that you see how the band works, I'm going to show you how to make it.
So measure ear to ear, find that length and cut that length out of fabric at about 2 to 4 inches wide, depending on how wide you want it to be. I want mine to be about an inch, so I cut it out to be 2 because you also have to allow for seam allowance. I then pressed the ends in and gave it a good crease before stitching along that one line that I would need, and then turning it inside out. I then cut out my woven tape here and added it to each side. I believe I allowed about 10 inches in length, and that seemed to work out really well for me. So here I am pinning in those ends, and then I will be stitching them down with my sewing machine.
Alright, so now you know how to make your own band. Now, let's put on the veil. Want to make sure it's in the center. I don't want to pin it in the center though. I like pinning it at the sides. I'm using these pins. I got them from Townsend's, which is more like 1700s reenacting, but it's what I got. And it's better than modern.
Step 1 in deciding what kind of medieval veil you want is just to take some fabric and drape it over your head in front of a mirror and just see what styles you like and think look good on you. I really felt like a kid doing this because there were so many times where I stood in front of my mom's closet mirror with bed sheets and fabric and would just drape them over me, pretending to make all sorts of dresses and veils and fun things. So this was also a little bit nostalgic. I decided that I really liked the look of a rectangular veil on my head and for my face. Medieval veils, from what I can tell, fall into generally 3 categories, and that is rectangle veils, circle veils, and then half circle veils. I digress. I thought rectangle was going to be the simplest, and since I had a little bit of a time crunch as well, because when do I not have a time crunch when I'm sewing a project, I decided to go with this one. I liked it. It was simple. The 45 inches that the fabric width already was worked out perfectly. I thought it fell to a really nice place right below my shoulders, really ending just about at the end of my collarbone, a little lower. I thought that looked really nice. So I didn't have to worry about anything that way. And then I determined that I wanted it to be 40 inches long. So didn't have to do anything for the width. I just used the 45 that the fabric already was, and then I cut out 40 inches, and that made my rectangle. I traced that line, pinned it, and then cut it out, and that's essentially all it was. I didn't really have to sew anything beside hemming it. I hemmed it by hand using a hem stitch.
Alright, so there you go, there it is. Nice, quick, easy medieval hairstyle and a nice, quick and easy veil.
And then here is how it looks in the back. So rectangle, and then it falls and it has these fun points and pleats within it, which I really like. I hope you like it too. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you want to be part of the Historical Belle Society.